Welcome friends. Today we are starting a new first impression series. Delightful. And the house we will be doing first impressions on is the house of Anna Zworynkina. Tremendous. Friends, this is exciting. Also a little scary, and I'll tell you why. I have spent a lot, and I do mean a lot of money on these samples. These samples were like at least a tenner each. You get 10 samples for something like 120 euros or something silly like that. And it hurts. But it's better than the price of the perfumes, which are available at Bloom in the UK. And Bloom in the UK is charging for these. Let's just have a quick look at what they would like to charge. Your shopping cart is empty, apparently. Can't have that. Anna Zworynkina. So, there is a bottle of Hold My Pipe. £130 for 15ml of the EDP. That is pain and suffering, my friends. That is pain and it is suffering. Right? Those prices are extraordinary. And when you charge extraordinary prices, you should be held to an extraordinary standard. And I will be holding these perfumes to an extraordinary standard. These had better be fucking immense. £75 for 4.5ml parfum. That's more expensive than the Chanel parfums mil for mil. I think that's a quick, yeah, it is, yeah. It's either on par or more expensive. I paid a lot for these, my friends. These are the EDPs, and they are 1ml samples. So, they are made from all natural ingredients as well, apparently. So this is all natural perfume. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. I will read the little blurb that is on the Bloom website about them. Anna Zworynkina. Perfumes blended from natural ingredients only. Treats for noses who smelled it all. Anna's blends are more like smell experiences or perfume escapes. Pure fun for connoisseurs looking for something beyond perfumes created with the help of modern synthetic materials. Natural-only blends have a very peculiar projection, close to skin, quiet, but excitingly complex upon a closer sniff. Please be aware that natural perfume has to be patch tested before continual wear. Look at Turin on Anna's work. I find Anna Zworynkina fragrances very impressive indeed, and largely immune from the mushiness of most natural perfumery. Wisely, she seems to stick to classical forms and puts her skill into making them work optimally. Thanks, Luca. Thank you, fuck you, and goodbye, Luca. Of course, Luca Turin is no longer smelling perfumes anymore, or at least not writing about them. He didn't have to make an announcement saying that you were flouncing off, but off you flounce. Anyway, let's get into these, shall we? I have 10, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do 4 in the first video, I'm going to do 3 in the next, and then I'm going to do 3 in the one after that. I will just choose the first 4 that come to mind. I bought these off Etsy, by the way. I didn't get them from Bloom because they wanted more. They wanted like 14. So, this isn't all of them, by the way. but I wasn't paying for all of them. So this is Silver Lavender, Currant Mood, I quite like that as the name. It's a Wind from Mount Kailash, and oops, I'll pick one, shall I? Anytime, bloody hell. Honey and tar. Tar for that. Anyway, here we go, my friends. All natural perfume that doesn't project very well. That's what I'm reading from that. Sorry if I sound cynical, but when you're charging this kind of money, I want exceptional quality. Same thing with Strange Love Parfum. Strange Love, or whatever they're called. Fucking silly names, silly prices, silly perfumes. And we'll get our stick there. I'm not going to be mean about them. I'm not going to try and shit on her. I don't want them to be bad, you know. A bit scared that they'll be all good, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, because if they are, it's going to cost us a fucking fortune, innit? But there we are. 15 mil for 130 quid, eh? Good God. That's a lot of money, friends. You get 50 mil of Balenciaga pour on for not a lot more than that. Anyway, let's go back to our website of choice for the notes, and first up we have Silver Lavender. What's going on here? Silver Lavender was released in 2011 apparently. See how little you get in there? 1 mil. 2011, made by Anna Zworynkina. The notes. The notes are wormwood, lavender, incense, rosemary, sage, galbanum, elemi, oak moss, labdanum, jasmine sambac, iris, yuzu, rose de mai, myrrh, and sandalwood. Don't spray too much of it. Ooh, that's very distinctive in the air. Ooh, it's very, a little bit spicy. Let's have a waft, shall we? Spicy, dry, dusty. A little bit barbershop. Getting the lavender. It's bitter. It smells a bit like a garden. Elemi. Definitely getting the elemi because I'm getting that lemony, resinous kind of thing going on. It's complex. Musty. I'm getting this dusty, musty kind of smell, you know? Must there be dust? I don't know. It's possible. There must. Sage. Clary sage. Excuse me whilst I hydrate, by the way. Please excuse me. Herbal. Lavendery. All these other things seem to bounce off the lavender. There's like a lavender kind of heart, and then there's this. It seems to shoot out little photons of other notes. It's calming down a bit now. It's very lavendery now. It's not too powdery, the lavender. I'm getting the iris a bit. Maybe a bit of the rose as well. Like the resin sort of things are starting to come a bit out. Like that kind of deeper, richer. Deeper, richer kind of vibe. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Galbanum, green. There's like a mixture of green and purpleness, but not violet. Like lavender, iris, purple, powdery purple. I think rosemary and sage have got a touch of purple about them as well, haven't they? It's not bad, that. I don't think it's something I would wear. But it smells nice, you know. Excuse me, I'm hydrating quite a bit. It's warm here today. Okay, so that was silver lavender. A little bit of a smoky, dry aspect as well. Maybe even something a bit peppery. It was interesting. Okay, next up we have a perfume called Currant Mood. Currant as in black currant. So, currants, black currant you've got to be careful of because it can do mad shit. It can smell pissy sometimes. And I don't like pissy, if I'm being honest. Not a big piss fan. Some people fucking love piss. Not me. Released in 2017. The notes are rose, green tea, jasmine, bergamot, vetiver, labdanum, lavender, black currant, oak moss, and tomato leaf. Oh, I got black currant straight away. Sour, bitter, juicy. Smells like a familiar. I've smelled this before. Not this perfume, but I've smelled this before. It's got that lavender as well. Tea. The amount of times you see blackcurrant and tea used together. This is a different kind of garden. This is a garden at another time of the year. You know, verdant, deep, dark, rich. This is not something I like. It smells decent. It's well made. It's different from everything else you're going to smell out there. If you're into avant-garde, if you're into niche, if you're into indie, natural perfume, you'll probably like this. Tomato leaf can go a couple of different ways. If you're not careful with tomato leaf, you can get the worst aspects of it when it becomes too green, like over nitrogen. If you've ever seen plants that have had too much nitrogen and they turn this bluey purple green kind of colour, the leaves get too rich get too dark, too deep, you know. Almost as if, you know, like you know, when somebody turns blue, you know, like vein colour in someone's skin, and they've got that blue undertone to their skin. That's kind of like that colour. It's lightening up a bit now. More of the vetiver. Lavender. I'm not getting much oak moss. This is not the oak moss that I know. I'm getting this kind of nondescript greenness. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. That's feels like a thud. Like a thud of greenness. You know? Let's have one more sniff of it. I'm getting a little bit more of that pissy vibe. Might be from the jasmine. Black currant's funny like that though as well, isn't it? Is that better for the camera? Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Just going to give myself a second whilst I breathe a little bit before I try Wind from Mount Kailash. Wind. This was released in 2008. Again, another aromatic green kind of fragrance. More sage, more elemi, more incense, more lavender, wormwood, oregano, gaiac wood apparently, opoponax, cedar. Overlapping with some of the silver lavender. Yeah. Don't know what the inspiration is behind any of these. There's no write-ups on Fragrant, I guess, so we will see. Oh, that's very different. Just got a bit of a whiff to that there. Very elemi. Very elemi. A whack of elemi there. Like turpentine, terps, bleach. Lemony. Like polish type thing. Too much. Slightly smoky. Is there a bit of incense in here? Yes. Wormwood, lavender, little bit of lavender. I'm not hugely getting the lavender. Oh. It's got quite a like a wheat, a bit of wheat kind of smell. I'm not sure what that is. Oregano, maybe? I don't know. Like Weetabix, wet Weetabix. Not a big fan of that. Again, if you're one of these people who's into all natural perfume, which I'm not, then you might be into these. These might be your thing. They're not, as far as I'm concerned. Not so far, anyway. Not on first impressions. I'll go back over them and then sniff them all again, like throughout the rest of the day, like I usually do. See what happens as they develop and unfurl, as you would. But no, not so far, I'm afraid. Although, coming up next, we have one that I am actually quite intrigued to smell. This was one that jumped out at me that I thought, I want to smell you, because I'm a bit of a sucker for honey and fragrances, much like my brother from another mother, Ramsey. I'm interested by this honey fragrance. It is a typically vintage note. Please tell me you've put that bloody sample cap on. Yes, thank God. Again, if you are charging extraordinary prices, I'm going to hold you to an extraordinary standard. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's have a little look what we've got here. Cinnamon, vanilla, hops. Never seen that before. Cardamom, patchouli, honey, benzoin, castoreum, cedar, sandalwood, and tonka. Sweet. Uranus. Got a urinal cake vibe to it. Creamy, leathery. I'm not getting much tar. I'm not getting much tar at all. Released in 2008. It's got this kind of the honey sort of gone. I'm getting this sweet leather kind of thing going on now. A little bit fresh. vanillic, benzoine-y. It's gone very nondescript now. Like a little bit resiny, a little bit suede-y, a little bit vanillic, ambery. A little bit of wood, a little bit of smoke. I imagine this one's got to have a bit more. I'm more interested in this one than I am in the other three. Would I want to wear this and smell like it out and about? Dunno. It's got a burned kind of vibe to it as well, like a fire. Like a destructive fire though, you know? Stuff's burning that shouldn't be burning, or that you don't want to burn. I'll try that on skin. I'll try that on skin. It's a little clunky, you know? It's a little clunky, but it's more interesting than the other three. Okay. Okay, we will go back over the 4 of these, and then I shall take my leave. Try and keep this under half an hour, my friend. First up, we have Silver Lavender. That's a lot more pleasant now. Still a bit rough, though. They're all natural smelling perfumes. They smell like natural perfumes. They smell like all natural perfumes, you know. It's still got that very herbaceous sort of thing going on. I don't know if that's like the wormwood or if it's... Currant Mood's nicer now as well. How do I feel about Currant Mood? Not getting much of the the what's it called? The tomato leaf. Not getting much of that, although I am getting this deep verdant greenness. Not like, I don't feel like I would be missing out if I didn't smell any of these. Do you know what I mean? Certainly not for the money. For the money, it's very easy not to buy them. Does that make sense? This is dusty. This has got this. It's not dusty. It's quite. It's got this piney, turpentine kind of thing going on from the elemi. Like, if it feels like it smells like if this was to touch your skin, it might burn it. You know, the smoke, and there's a lot going on with wind from Mount Kailash, but not necessarily anything that I want to be involved with. And finally, we have honey and tar. Whoops, I'll just throw that around. Let's have a smell. That's very benzoine, very cakey now, very like vanilla cake sort of smell. I imagine that'll be very different on skin. You do get this back tone, this undertone of like leathery castoreum thing. Tar, it ain't. Don't get tar. do get benzoin, do get vanilla, do get this kind of cakey aspect to them as well. Okay. Okay, friends, these have been my first impressions of the house of Anna Zworynkina. I don't think there's anything there that I'm going to be like rushing out the door to go and buy. And like I said, for the money, they're very easy not to purchase. That said, if you are into natural perfume, if you are into non-classical perfumes, if you're into indie or niche naturals, things like that, this may be worth sampling for you. Again, though, the price is restrictive, prohibitive, which is a problem, and it is a problem, you know. But we will see. I will try honey and tar on skin at some point in a video in the future. But yes, this has been my first impressions of the house of Anna Zworynkina. I hope you have enjoyed these first impressions, my friends. Please let me know what you think if you've tried any of these, and I will see you again soon. Bye.